If you don't think it can happen, think back to the last century alone. Okay, Mao, China, communism, fascism, Nazism, Imperial Japan, the killing fields, Cambodia, man's inhumanity to man, over 100 million humans killed in the last century. You don't think evil happens? It does. Sadly, it's sick, it's ugly, it is repulsive. We need to get the truth. Now, some positive developments, if you can say anything's positive, surrounding our country's fight against COVID-19. Researchers at Stanford University, they were combing the local population there to find residents with antibodies. Remember, 2 weeks ago, we didn't have the antibody test. Now we have 1 million of them, thanks to Abbott. Now, they discovered that the infection rate may be 85 times higher than reported. In other words, a significant amount of the population may have been exposed without getting sick enough to report symptoms. That would suggest, again, we're looking at the numbers here exponentially, the possibility that the death rate could be as low or even lower than the seasonal flu. We'll continue to monitor. Time will tell. Now, the situation in New York continues, thankfully, to improve. Hospitalizations have now declined for the 4th straight day. That graph has been what we were hoping for, leveling, falling off. Now we're looking for the precipitous drop. Incubations are also on the decline. That continues. The death rate appears to have flattened, and thanks to the president's numerous actions, New York never ran out of ventilators, never ran out of hospital bed, received millions and millions of masks and gloves and gowns and shields from the federal stockpile. The USNS Comfort, the emergency 3,000-bed hospital at the Javits Center are still operational. Both were modified to accept COVID-19 patients. Not an easy task. Got to change the ventilation system. All workers at both facilities were manned by our great military at the request of the president to help out New York and New Jersey. Also at the direction of the president, the federal government directed what amounted to a massive amount of resources to New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. And in spite of, well, my efforts, I've been trying to bridge the gap between the governor of New York and the president. Clearly, it's not going to work. It's not happening because today, Governor Cuomo, he is complaining, I need. Why doesn't he make this call private? Governor Cuomo, make the calls requests private. You do that, he's giving you all this stuff. You're provoking a fight. It's not good. Got to save the people of New York. Watch.
First of all, if he's sitting home watching TV, maybe he should get up and go to work, right? I have said a number of times, I don't know, what am I supposed to do, send a bouquet of flowers? I said the one issue we need help with is testing. He said 11 times, I don't want to get involved in testing. It's too complicated. It's too hard. No one can take the posture, well, just say thank you for what I've done, and I'm now out. I'm not doing anything else. And I don't need the President of the United States to read the Constitution for me. Maybe he should have read the Constitution before he said he had the power to open the states.
Why do you have to, Governor? Why do you have to keep asking publicly? I had the governor on my Governor Cuomo on my radio show again yesterday. I want him to succeed. I want New York to recover. I don't want anyone else to die. He's got to stop with the political theater. I need. The president gave. Asked for help privately, especially since he told me yesterday the president delivered big time for New York. If he keeps using these press sessions as public venting sessions and demand sessions from everything from the federal government, this relationship is not going to work. I'm trying to be a peacemaker here. Now, why couldn't he just say he's working with the federal government to get more testing, other resources? Because it's not as simple as snapping your fingers, I need 1,000 ventilators. He said the president does respond quickly every single time. All the states that have wanted, they've all asked for the decision they want to make them themselves. Okay, the president gave it to you. Then you can't demand that the president do everything when you got what you wanted. You're in charge. Governor Cuomo wants to be in charge of reopening his state. Okay, do it. Instead of demands, call testing companies, call thermometer companies. Not that hard. I've already offered the Hannity plan, what I think we should do to open New York City. That's the smallest geographical area, largest number of people, some days 11+ million people there. Now, masks, gloves, temperature checks to get into any building, wearing the mask in the building. Half the workforce should continue to work remotely from home, so you have more social distancing in every New York City building. Also, Open. Let's think about reopening. You see that? That's Yankee Stadium. Now, Yankees, I talked to Randy Levine, one of their top executives today. They'll do anything that there is asked of them. Anything. They want to do it and do it safely. They'll work with the governor. They'll work with the president. We can open Citi Field for the Mets. We can open the Meadowlands for the Jets and Giants. How do you do it? Well, here's my idea. Test all the employees who serve the public at these events. That means the players, the coaches, the trainers, the ticket takers, all food handlers. They've got to get a positive COVID ID test. We can do that thanks to Abbott. Now, Randy Levine rightly pointed out, I can report the Yankees will go all in and do whatever is needed to keep every fan safe. And I'm sure every MLB team, every NFL team, every college team, they'll do what's needed. They'll do the right thing. They'll follow the rules. And I'll even bet if it means, okay, you want to go to the game, you got to put on a mask. It's not ideal. You can't eat popcorn, but you could probably go like this and take a bite of your hot dog and chew it with your mask on, and then take a straw and drink your beer. Probably do it that way. I would rather do that than stay home myself. That's the Hannity plan. Now, Governor Cuomo, you don't have to do any of this. You have your opportunity. You're the governor. If it's a good plan, I'll support you. It's doable, inconvenient. It's thankfully only temporary. Now, there are reports tonight of a group of liberal Northeastern governors, apparently working on a way to ignore the administration's reopening guidelines, all while smearing the president, who did more than anyone else. The biggest health mobilization in the history of the world. That's what we are now living through. And by the way, got a lot of hell for having the travel ban, quarantine, and then subsequent travel bans. If they want to go the governors alone, okay, you're right. There's the 10th Amendment. Good luck. Your bat, your ball. And as somebody once said to me early in my career, you got to decide. You can do it the way the experts or the researchers tell you, or you can do it your way, your bat, your ball, your ass. That's it. If you fail, at least fail on your terms. Again, the anti-Trump politicization in this, not helping anybody. One thing that can happen is states and cities that were in debt, that were running deficits before all of this, don't ask the American taxpayers to bail you out of your reckless and irresponsible spending. And to Republicans in Washington, I have a message for you tonight. COVID-19 spending bills only. That's it. No more money for the National Endowment for the Arts, the National Endowment for the Humanities, the Kennedy Performing Arts Center. No changes in voting laws or immigration laws. Help workers that need money. Hospitals that need whatever they need. Help small business and big business. That's it. That's a big enough task. Also, for all of you in Washington, time to turn around and get your rear ends back to Washington, D.C. That means the House and the Senate. Go to work. Meanwhile, millions of Americans are fed up with their governors. Look at Michigan. Protests erupting against Governor Whitmer. Because why? Issuing lockdown orders. You're preventing residents from visiting their own family members, cutting their own grass, buying seeds, fishing. You can't be any more socially distant than fishing. So how did Whitmer respond? Oh, she goes on conspiracy TV, Rachel Maddow show, and sort of like an out-of-control tyrant vowing vengeance. How dare they protest against me? People should be allowed to cut the lawn and fish. Should be a rule. Take a look.
People came and converged together in Lansing, and then they went out back to their homes across the state of Michigan. The odds are very high that they're spreading COVID-19 along with it. And so it's that kind of irresponsible action that puts us in this situation where we might have to actually think about extending stay-home orders, which is supposedly what they were protesting.
Minnesota, Kentucky, Michigan, all around the country. You governors, you're overstepping your authority. You've gone way over the line. Joining us now.